When the unexpected suddenly occurs, such as an ongoing pandemic, we are not prepared for the drastic changes that are yet to come, especially now since the COVID-19 pandemic has been on the rise since the year of 2019. Nobody's prepared for such an event to occur, in which the best option is to take extreme measures of safety and sanitation, and more socially distant from others. Instructors from schools all over the United States had to be able to learn how to teach from home even without having any knowledge of it, including colleges and universities. After this sudden transition from in-person to via Zoom, instructors had to speedfully fully learn how to get a good course and way of giving knowledge on topics to students without being there for them in person or see if they were even putting in the effort in class. Today I will be discussing if all California colleges and university instructors should have mandatory training to teach online. Due to the pandemic, there were drastic changes that we are not ready to face and adjust to. In a matter of seconds, everything can change. To this day, I remember the happiness my classmates had when we got the news we were transitioning to online school. But for my teachers, they were worried. Most of them never taught online school. The question is, why don't we provide mandatory training to teach online classes in case of any crisis that can happen? For the first slide, I will be discussing with you the problems that many teachers face to have mandatory training to teach online classes. Most of the teachers deal with situations they are not familiar with. For example, with COVID, many teachers were not ready to teach online. This is why training should be provided. I will also evaluate the cause of these situations by looking at different perspectives of what has happened before that made it harder on teachers to adjust to teach online courses, and also why having school boards made it required to have specific training to teach online. The solution is what keeps us moving forward. I will provide ways in order to impact upcoming teachers that have been teaching for years to obtain online teaching skills rather than in person. The biggest problem is that there is not enough time to really do the training that a teacher needs to understand how to teach online. Some colleges ask teachers to complete 9 credits to receive a certificate in online teaching. Experts in the area say planning, designing, implementing a high quality online course can take more than a year. The best training is customized to meet teachers where they are and build on their knowledge. According to US Today, a division of Gannett Satellite Information, experts suggest offering a combination of live instruction and work that students can do on their own time rather than expecting students to sit in front of the screen all day. When learning to teach online, educators should receive at least some of their training, if possible, through an online course so they can experience firsthand what's it like to be a distant learning student. We learn by doing, said Lisa Dolly, Executive Director of the Jacobs Institute for Innovation and Education at the University of San Diego. You have to train in the way you want them to teach. It has to be modeled. According to Academic Center from California Community College, online facility instructors also need to be trained to meet the evolving and technical requirements of state and federal agencies for online education. This training should include ways to comply with the Americans with Disability Act and methods for student identity, which is required by the Higher Education Opportunity Act to avoid financial aid fraud and cheating. In addition, local centers should encourage their facility to make thoughtful decisions about the extent of their use of publishers' course materials. And online teachers need to be engaged in supporting students right from the start and for the duration of the course to maintain an effective learning community. Let your students know what day or time frames you will be online and how they can contact you outside of those hours. These days, we're fortunate to have the technology to create virtual learning environments that allow us to collaborate and engage just as well as if we were in the classroom. Providing feedback. Feedback is an essential component of all effective learning environments, including online. As an online teacher, your feedback will help to create an learning experience that is informative, engaging, and motivational for the learner. Your feedback should be continuous during the learning process with constructive feedback offered as soon as possible so that students can clearly define which behaviors or skills need to be improved. To summarize, we discussed the problems, causes, and solutions why mandatory training should be required. For online teaching, we can't predict the unexpected, just how COVID came and many teachers had to learn without knowing anything. This is why school boards should also focus on their staff and what they need to acquire first in order to teach. This is an eye-opener to all students and teachers that in a matter of seconds, anything can change. To this day, it is still a struggle to stay online. As students, we don't fully learn how we did in person. The same goes to teachers. Some didn't fully understand how to teach online.